No, I don't want that.
We've got to have money.
I have no idea how good or not good this game is. But it is kind of loud in my ears, so I'll be turning it down. That's a lot better. Okie dokie.
Ah, hamburger sandwich to Diet Coca-Cola.
Let's begin. Oh. Oh, you can be... Okay, so you have no way to defend yourself. She was doking on my dokie till I panic. Oh my god. You know... No idea. Although I have Reciteer. I have yet to... I have been very afraid to play that one. No, I didn't. I did not. Okay. No. Wait, I didn't consent to this shit. Where? Okay. Well, like, there's very clearly, like, a... There's very clearly, like, a puzzle thing here. Like, where it's like you gotta... But, like, I'm not given any menus for anything. What did I just... Wait a minute, what the fuck did I just sell? What the fuck is going on? Like, there's the... Like... I don't understand what is happening in the menus. I also just have no idea what my money is. I didn't turn on a CRT filter. Did I turn on a CRT filter? Four junk for $1 each. No. No. No, it's not. I can tell you right away that this isn't gonna... Oh, shit. How do I sell? What? That's how you sell? Are you serious? Also, I do want to point out that the graphics on this look really nice. But man, being in fucking Unity fucking kills any of the game feel of this game. I don't know what it is, like I don't know why people go to all these ridiculous lengths to try to make something look as old and authentic as possible. But then they put it in the fucking Unity or like Unreal or like some modern game engine that like doesn't feel literally at all like a game that would have came out back then. No. Oh my god, it's gonna make me sleep, isn't it? So basically, if you leave the town... I'm assuming this... Oh man, so they basically took like this one single part of Animal Crossing. I mean, I don't know what I expected. And it was $5. Like, this wasn't a very expensive game. I don't know, I guess I just don't really like the cozy genre of game. I think they are kind of just like boring a lot of times. When it comes to this game, oh fuck. Okay, that's gonna get annoying. This game is definitely menus and not parkour. But the art is really nice. It looks faithful to, like, pre-rendered sprites and such. Like, I do like it. Okay, that's gonna get really annoying. Ooh. Okay, so you're gonna want to talk to people to make sure. Oh no! Oh, I could have made more money. Oh well. I'm starting to get the appeal here. If you crash out in this, you should try Nubby's Number Factory. I'm gonna go into drawing. If I stop playing this. I was told that this is only like a 2-hour game. What do you mean I'm tired? I should rest before I travel. I literally can't go anywhere. How the fuck did I get tired? Shut the fuck up, game. Well, I guess I'm gonna get robbed. Yeah. Oh, it's only a little money, huh? Oh my god. See, it would be nice if it kept sparkling. So that I could see where the fuck it was. Do I seriously have to be, like, right? Oh my god. You have to be right over it. Are you kidding me? This is not the kind of game... This seems more like a... I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's a challenge. It seems like it's a fucking punishment. Whatever. Okay, it's time to go. No. No. Okay. Oh, don't tell me it's gonna keep me here. Fuck off. Of course, I'm gonna have money stolen. Yep, exactly. Don't fucking make it a gamble, like a punishment for trying to play the game, fucking game. Okay. Okay, so this is one of those slow burn games, clearly. Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, jeez. Did I have 16 of this shit? So we can't go yet. Basically, we need $100, essentially, to get started. Okay, now we can go. Nope. You may not. Ooh. So I'm gonna basically have to do this again because the game cucks you out of leaving once you sell. Yeah, exactly. The game punishes you for basically for playing the game. Cool, thank you. It's just another fucking tax on your patience. This is a video game called not Quest 64. Fuck my ass. It's called Merchant 64. It was a $5 game. I watched a couple YouTube videos by this guy who worked on the Sonic movie. And he's like, I put out a video game, and it's an N64 retro simulation thing. And I was like, oh, maybe I will give it a chance. And it was $5. So far, it's definitely, yo, what up, Trigger? How have you been, man? I haven't seen you in a minute. It's definitely a game for your girlfriend to stream, that's for sure. You know what's funny is the guy himself said it's about a 2-hour game anyways. No. So it's basically just like use your brain, the video game. Don't sell low. Check the market price of the thing. Oh my god. It's not Malin. I don't like that they made her like a weird tomboy stick figure. I mean, I don't get too many viewers, man, so, like, when people come and go, I do notice. I, too, have been going through a lot. So I get it. 人生はとっても難しいですよね. I mean, yeah. Yeah, of course. So I get... Yeah, the game punishes you for... Basically, the game arbitrarily taxes you no matter what. But yeah, I've kind of yet to play one of these retro revival games that made me happy in the way that, like, Pseudo Regalia does. Or, that's not true. The Big Catch is really, really good. It was very difficult, though, but I really appreciated it. Honestly, the big catch, though, was a lot more, like, Western feeling. It felt more like a Jack and Daxter sort of thing to me. Whereas Pseudo-Regalia, even though it's Western, it was very clearly designed with, like, Mario 64 in mind. I'm very sad that the developer isn't doing more with that. They're moving on to another game that's kind of like a God Hand sort of thing. Which, that's cool. I've never played God Hand, though. So I don't have any nostalgia for it. But yeah, we've had a couple people come and go. One person I haven't really seen in a long time is Viperous. I wonder what he's been up to. Okay, we're going to the new town. Let's go. He used to stop by all the time on the old stream, or the old channel. And I have not seen him in quite a minute. Oh, it's the same girl. You couldn't make more than one hot merchant girl? Come on.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't be interesting or anything. I just really like Pseudo-Regalia. I don't know what it is, but like I seem to attract a ton of interest, or attract a ton of interest. I seem to get hyper interested in, like, devs who put out these weird tech demo type games that are, like, insanely compelling to me for some reason. Would you like to purchase 5 junk for $1 each? Yes. I have $6. What the fuck is wrong with you? I have enough money. It's also, what the hell's going on here? How do I have 6 money? What the fuck is this game? Why did it cost me? That is a bug. I had $6 and it cost me 5 for 3 junk at $1 each. So that should have been $3. This game does not work. Ooh, yes I do. Hey! There's a bug. This game is bugged. That is not what you said at $1 each. That cost me like $12. Yeah, this game is bugged. There's something wrong here. Okay, so basically... Basically, you either need to buy that or you need to buy the bag. Okay. Alright, well, let's see. Will it let me leave? It won't. You feel a little tired, even though you will know you'll get fucking robbed by staying in the city. And it says there's a chance of getting robbed, but, like, you just get robbed every single fucking time. There's no, like, in between. There's no, like, hey, you're not gonna get robbed. It's mostly just the art style, really. It's, you know, the guy just does, like, little animations and stuff on Twitter, and it's just an original project. But, like, and to be fair, some of the art stuff is nice. But like I was saying earlier, you know, there's people that'll go and do these retro games, and they'll spend a ton of time on the art style, but then they'll just put it in fucking Unity or Godot or something, like a modern game engine, and it completely just feels like there was another, there was another game we played. I forget what it was called. It was like a Steam Next Fest demo, but it was basically like a frog game from like a bunch of people who did like Mario 64 modding or whatever. And they really just tried to make it Mario 64, but it just kind of felt weird. Like all of these like retro indie games, like this one, I will give its credit. It is being original, even if it's not amazing. It is being more original than most. A lot of these indie games, what they'll do is they'll just like pick a game that's already beloved and try to just make a great value brand version of it. And it just, no matter how good they make it, it's never going to live up to, what the original game was. So it's just, even if it's better, it always will just feel kind of inferior. Yeah, I mean, this game was $5. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. This is like a indie game that was put out for like nothing. See, his says 1 junk for $1 each. 4 junk for $3 each. There you go. See, that was 4 junk for $3 each. 5 junk for $2 each. No, that's not good enough, lady. How about buying 4 junk for $1 each? Okay, sure. That was not correct. Wait, 4 junk for $3 each. Okay, yeah, that was 12, I think. Okay. Yeah, of course. Someone stole money and blah, 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 blah. But Yeah, no one ever accused this game of being, like, an in-depth, like, masterpiece or something. Plus, I was planning on going live with art, too. Like, this was just kind of like, hey, let's chill out for a second and take a quick break. That couldn't have been all of it, could it? It really isn't that much. Oh, I broke the camera. Oh, the camera broke. Video game. Okay, we're going to the other town. But yeah, this is a game that very well could have been menus. So far. Like, there really is not anything, like, super, super amazing here. But, again, it's a $5 indie game made by a guy on Twitter who... To be fair, the reason I know about this game is because the guy worked on... if you've seen the third Sonic movie, he did all the, like, Sega Saturn-looking 3D models at the end. And he did a big video talking about it. So that's how I know about this game. Can you help me out? Can you buy 2 junk for $1 each? Okay, so 2 junk for $1 each means that we should be spending $2 here. And we should get 14 junk. Okay, so we went from 71 to 69, so yes. Hey, would you like to purchase 4 junk for $1 each? So 65. I'm sorry, what the fuck? That was $7. No, I had 72? What the fuck is going on here? Risk... Oh, we can turn on a fakey fake. Oh boy. Ugh. See, I really don't like CRT filters. I don't like fake things like that. They never look right. Yeah, so this game is bugged. So I think we go for this first. Or no, it's in trash cans. That's not that good. Okay. Did I get that one? Yeah, I got that one. I'm rubbing my face. I'm running around. Yeah, of course. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, I just don't like fake retro filter effects. They never look good. Like, here's my take on all of that shit. Is like, just go get a fucking tube TV for like $20 or free. You know, it doesn't have to be some amazing fucking RGB capable one. And just get a game system that you want. Like, you could do like an ODE, you could do like a hard drive mod if you must. You know, like, or get an EverDrive. It's basically just the same fucking thing. Like, it does not need to be an Einstein project to get into retro games. Yeah, and that too. Like, they're kind of only doing it like, oh man, if I were to ever do like an ARTLAB on like I think I'm too stupid to do an ARTLAB on old 3D graphics. Just I don't have the skills to do it. I would love to learn it though. Like old ass, like, you know, pre-rendered Bryce 3D looking 3D. I'd love to like research the actual software that they use to make a lot of N64 games and such. Because I've always kind of been slightly bugged by the fact that we're doing retro revival stuff, but like it's instead of it just seems like we're trying to patchwork modern workflows into making old stuff. And I've always kind of been like, there's always been some dissonance for me with people that do that. In not just video games too, but just like a lot of things. Can you help me? Can I please buy 4 junk for $3 each? Okay, so we'll have 26 junk and we'll get 12 gold. 86 to 98. Okay, that one works. 2 junk. Nope. Nope. Shook on my nuts. What? I'm just not even gonna purchase it. It's not even worth it. Oh god, what have... Ah! Oh, good. That's a good one. That's a good one. There. That is actually pretty good. You know what? I think at this point it might be time to buy a merchant card, yeah. Mazel tov. I have an in card to stay here. No, I don't. But yeah, I appreciate some of the like design. Clearly some of the design stuff is on point. The 3D models maybe not so much, but I really do like the I like some of the pre-rendered graphics, like the little bags and like the map and such. I think are pretty well done. But yeah, I've always been kind of put off by people who like want to ride the nostalgia retro like, stuff, but then they don't put the work in to actually make it, like, feel like it was actually a product of that time. I've always been bothered by that. Okay, well. Alright, we'll go for like 15 more minutes and see if we can't. Oh, fuck! I didn't check! No! No, I didn't check! God damn it. Well, shut up! I want to go video game. Oh. What a colossal fuck up. Oh, nice. We did it. We gambled and won. Okay. My nephew just sucked my clitoris clean off. I'd like him to give it back, but he put it in a little ring case and calls it his precious. He worships it every day. Okay, something is bugged about this game. That cost me 5 gold. It was not $1 each. Voices of the Void? I haven't heard that one. One that I really... That being said, one boomer shooter before boomer shooter was like a genre thing that I really, really liked was Dusk. Dusk was very, very good. Oh, and then it's like scary for like exactly 1 second. Okay. Oh, fuck, I wasn't paying attention. Is there nothing to pick up? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, Dusk was cool. I liked, what the fuck was the other one with the robot that everyone fucking sucks their dick over? The other one, I can't believe I'm forgetting. I completely forgot the name. I completely forgot. Ultra Kill, yeah, there we go. I had the fucking cover in my brain with the font, but like it looked like some AI generated bullshit and I couldn't parse it. But yeah. Ultra Kill is mechanically fun. But I think the story is kind of cringe. Okay, now we buy this thing. Your next junk sale is doubled, resets daily. Now we can afford to sleep outside. Because worst case scenario, like, I think it's like some percentage it steals from you. Yeah, it's some, like, fucking, like, bullshit. It says there's a chance you'll get robbed, but, like, it literally just robs you every single time. I just personally, I just don't give a shit about the, Christianity am bad. Like, what if God bad? What if Angle evil and devil good? I just think it's tacky at this point. That's what I got out of it, but I could be dumb. But the gameplay is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the gameplay of Ultra Kill. I like some of the art and stuff is really nice too. I like that. I like their depiction of hell in like the first level where it's like a beautiful landscape, but it's all like TV screens, so it's fake. That's a very, very cool depiction of the idea of like biblically hell is supposed to be like absence of God, and I think that's a very, very interesting kind of take on it. Oh, I'm not saying it's trying to be deep. I'm just saying that's like a... Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that's what I got out of it, but I didn't finish the game. I'd probably have to play it again. It's been a long time since I played it. Yeah, I'd have to give it another chance, it sounds like, from what you guys are... No! I forgot to check the fucking thing! No, god damn it! Oh! Alright, did we screw up? We screwed the fuck right up. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can fucking scam someone. Ooh, yes. Yes, you can. Ooh. Well, there we go. Also, when the fuck does my... Okay, how do I get into my inventory? Oh, bag. One man strip. Would you can sell junk for a higher price. Once a day. Okay, how do I do that? Can you only do that at like the merchant or the market or whatever? Oh God. Oh, I do not like the way he blinks. When he blinks, his entire fucking face, like, texture changes. Like, the lighting and everything, it is super bizarre looking. Well, no, it says resets daily. So it's like a permanent upgrade. It's not like I bought it, you know. And it only works on junk, too. According to it, like, with this, you can sell junk for a higher price once a day. So I don't think the issue is that it is, like, not permanent, or it's, like, a temporary thing. That would be ridiculous. Like, if it... But then again, this game just straight up lies to you about, like, pricing and stuff. Which one was it? Fuck. I think we could go to either one. I think it said. So we'll go to Bleach Town. Are you a merchant? Would you like to purchase 5 junk for $1 each? Sure. Nope. Nope. No, you may not. I probably shouldn't be selling anyway because I need to, let's see. Does this work? 20. Well, it didn't work at all. What the fuck? How do you use that? Yeah, there's something wrong with this game. Like, this game is clearly bugged. This literally did nothing. And there does not seem to be a way to activate it. There's no key bindings thing, so I can't See if there's something that I'm doing wrong or right. Maybe, but, like, you think it would have, like, a cooldown animation or something? I don't know. We'll try one more time. We're getting close to, we need 300, I think. We either need... Wait, was it 200 or 300? No, we need 200. Or no, we need 300 because we want backpack upgrade. But we're gonna have to buy another fucking in-pass or whatever. So it's literally just like click through menus to be... I said it earlier, but this is literally just a game for your girlfriend to stream. So she can pretend that she, like, plays video games. This is like for the Stardew Valley people. It is. The idea is that you want to save up to buy the bigger backpack because then you'll start getting the better item. It's literally meant to be like work your way up like an upgrade chain. Okay, we're going to fucking Schmakehornville. But we're going to switch over to drawing in a hot second, I think. I think we've pretty much seen most of this, what this game has to offer so far. No. Okay. Actually, I don't want to purchase anything because I want to see now if this... Before I do anything, sell, because this doesn't go away. Let's see. So it doesn't say how much. It doubled. Okay, so I should get 40 gold for this, and I only got 20. Okay, so this game is just broke. This game doesn't work. It's broken. Let me see here. Let's see if the Steam community page has anything to say about this. Community hub. Lowered price of one man's. The running shoes don't work at all. And this was like a couple days ago. So basically, yeah, the game is busted. This game doesn't work properly. I might actually leave a review for this. I might actually I might actually say something. But yeah, this is very clearly, like, it's just some dude's small project. I don't want to, like, fucking rake him over the coals for it. That being said, it was $5, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over to. I'm gonna get up and stretch real quick and use the. Unsaved progress. How the fuck? How do you save? Okay, whatever. I'll save it and in. Boy. Okay. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, fellers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku?
All right, we're coming back. All right, what do I want to? Which what do I want to work on tonight? What are we doing? Delicious. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. These should be fun. Maybe. We could do that. We got some options. I think this one will work. Maybe. Yeah, let's get started. Alright. Now, last night, since I'm fucking sick of listening to the same goddamn Nintendo Wii 3DS music, we just started watching other people's fucking videos on stream. So tonight, I loaded up a good one. We're gonna listen to Scott the Waz's opinions on the Switch 2, and give live commentary on it.
Talk talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 because oddly enough, I don't think many people wanted to hear me talk about this week.
Jesus Christ.
I've already given my
What the fuck is up with his glasses?
thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 about 4 years after it was announced.
So why does he have like
Let's
4
talk about
fucking
the
husky
Nintendo Switch
tables in his
Direct, like,
background?
2 years after it
What
happened.
does he need
Lately,
those
because
for?
I don't really care, but I care enough to talk about it. Once again, normally with these types of things, you know, I usually like to stay relatively evergreen in terms of topics. But you know what? Everybody's pissed off at this thing right now, so like what? I'm not gonna be pissed off with them? Yeah, so it has been an incredibly eventful week or so for video games and Nintendo pop culture in general. There's been like a ton of like trailers and stuff dropping, so it's definitely things have definitely picked up. You know, I feel like over the past like year or so,
Pop culture in
news
general,
about
fellas.
entertainment has been oddly incredibly boring. Definitely a pretty exciting time right now. We've gotten a ton of stuff happening. First and foremost, a week before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, we had a Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. And it was very mediocre. I like elements from this Switch 1 Direct. I love the fact that we got a new Rhythm Heaven announced. I love the fact we got a new Tomodachi Life announced. Metroid Prime 4 looked really cool. But overall, the general vibe of this Direct, it very much felt like this should have been like a Nintendo Direct Mini, or even like a partner showcase without the, you know, first-party Nintendo titles, because there really wasn't a lot of substance to this one, in my opinion. I liked some of the announcements, but overall, this definitely wasn't really anything to write home about, to be honest. But that's okay, because only a week later, we got the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which clocked in at pretty much a full hour of non-stop information about this thing. And, yeah, people are fucking pissed. I wouldn't really say it's about the content of the Direct itself, rather what they didn't show in the Direct, that then people had to piece together information about afterwards via different websites from different regions. The main thing people are really pissed about is the price of this thing. They did not say it in the Direct, which bodes well for Nintendo's confidence. $450 for the base Nintendo Switch 2 package. Okay, that is really expensive. I wouldn't call it like an asinine price though. Like, to be honest, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and like I agreed that like 400 made the most sense for like the price of the Switch 2. The fact it's $50 more expensive than that, it's not a sexy price, but it's not like the end of the world or anything. It is very expensive, more expensive than we've really ever had.
Take it easy, man. Yeah, definitely keep your sleep schedule going. Don't turn into a fucking vampire like me. I would never be able to hold a 9-to-5 job anymore because my life has been destroyed. But take it easy, my friend. Thank you for tuning in.
I don't understand that. Obviously, like, this game is jam-packed with a ton of stuff, but it doesn't seem like that much grander than $70 or $60 games. You know, like, it looks like a AAA new video game. $80, like, I mean, like, I'm gonna buy it. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna be happy doing it.
But you're still gonna buy it.
Who am I kidding? I am literally going to buy nearly everything I'm about to bitch about, so...
So then why are you making a video about it?
It's really funny, because Nintendo is obviously very calculated right now. They really don't want another Wii U situation. And because of that, they left out stuff in the Direct that I think really fucked them over in the end, because they were worried about the price. They were worried about certain things just being really unappealing to the consumer. So they kind of waited until afterwards and just put them in like the websites and all the information that you can find about the console. And because of that, I find that a lot of misinformation was kind of spreading around about a lot of different things. This thing right here was spread around like wildfire. You know, this Nintendo Switch 2 Game Key card overview, where people were going like, that's it. This is where I draw the line. I am not interested in this console anymore. To that I go, like, then
Where
what
the
the
fuck
were you playing over the past decade? Literally,
is
every
this
console has
one
done this
manga
kind of
head
shit.
up?
The only difference is, like, this is kind of like a standardized thing Nintendo is doing. Not across all games, but just the games that are not going to do, like, a game on the cartridge. So the thing with this is that this is kind of going to be Nintendo's replacement for the, code-in-a-box, digital-only games on the store shelves
There
that
it
you
is.
see for Nintendo Switch, and even, like, other consoles like Xbox and PlayStation. But this one is, like, it comes with a game card that basically has nothing on it. It's pretty much a lock and key. You pretty much insert that into your system, and then it'll enable a download of this game. So then, you know, like, it downloads the game to your system, and if you want to play the game, you're gonna have to insert the game cartridge. There's nothing on the game cartridge. It's literally a game key. I'm not a fan of, like, this digital-only nonsense. I think it's lame as hell, but at the same time, I do understand what they're doing here, and I think this is, like, a solution for a bad situation we're in. It doesn't make it a good situation, but it's at the very least, like, hey, if a game is going to be doing, like, a digital-only thing, here's a solution to that. So at the very least, like, we shouldn't be seeing any, like, code-in-a-box nonsense anymore. We probably will see it because a lot of game publishers are lame as hell. This is at least a solution where, you know, they don't have to worry about putting the whole game on a cartridge and spending more money in terms of, like,
That didn't come out.
8 gigabyte cartridge, a 16
That didn't
gigabyte
come out
cartridge,
right.
all of that stuff. This way, they don't have to put anything on the cartridge other than some access code that the system reads, and then you could resell this game, trade it, you know, lend it to a friend, all of that stuff. You know, it's fundamentally a digital game that you have a physical way of lending to people and all of that, which is nice. Not ideal, but, you know, it's making the best out of a bad situation. I think what really pisses me off are the games that are doing this at launch. I saw Street Fighter 6 is doing a game key card. That at least, like, I'm kind of like, okay, you know, Street Fighter 6 is a pretty big game. It's like 50 gigabytes. Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be fully on the cartridge, which is insane. But that's going to be on like a 64 gigabyte cartridge. And so that just shows.
I can't imagine wanting to play Cyberpunk 2077, let alone on the Switch. I know that DLC came out and people said, oh, it's better now, but I personally did not give a shit about, like, Cyberpunk when it came out.
But at least, like, I guess it makes more sense than
I bought it and I even felt like I got gypped. And it wasn't because of the glitches and stuff. It just really, gameplay-wise, like, was weak. And then the story was dumb, too. I didn't really care for it.
Like, at that point, just do a digital-only release. I don't even want to see a physical copy. Game key cards, I understand when the game itself is, like, way too big. like Street Fighter 6, again, bigger games exist that are getting full physical releases with no internet downloads required. But at the very least, it's big enough to the point where I'm like, sure, like, whatever. Bravely Default, they just got cheap and lazy. I'm like, piss out. Because Nintendo didn't actually, like, address a lot of this stuff, I definitely understand the misinformation going around. You know, there was misinformation that Mario Kart World's physical copy was going to be $90. Like, Jesus Christ. But no, it's $80 across the board. And I'm not really sure why they're doing that outside of the fact that, oh, it's Mario Kart World, and people love Mario Kart. We could probably get them to spend $80 on this. Or it could be because you have the $500 Switch 2 bundle that comes with a download code for Mario Kart. So potentially there, you could just straight up, you know, you're saving $30 there by buying that bundle. Nintendo might just want people to buy the $500 bundle, obviously. So, you know, it might be a way for them to get more money out of systems there, or even just kind of get people to get used to downloading their games that way. Because who's buying a Switch 2 at launch that's not going to be buying Mario Kart? But speaking of Mario Kart, let's just go through the whole direct. I'll give my thoughts on everything. Mario Kart World is literally like the second, third, fourth... I don't even know what number we're on. That number coming of Christ. I find it so cool that this game is... It's not just like Mario Kart 8, but more, you know? Like, they actually kind of brought some things back to basics. Like, there's no kart customization like there was in Mario Kart 8, which I'm fine with. You know, kart customization was kind of cool, but the idea was cooler than the execution. The execution was just kind of like, you know, it's not like, wow, I'm making the cart my own thing.
You know, if they do a
they're bringing things back to like how things were in like Mario Kart Wii and prior, where you know, they just have
if they end up doing like what the fuck do they call it when they make a version of a game with all the DLC on it, like a Game of the Year edition or whatever for Mario Kart 8? I'll probably pick it up. Like, that's the only reason I haven't really picked it up, is because I don't feel like buying a game and then being roped into DLC. That's actually killed fucking video games that I've wanted to play. Like, I bought a Taiko no Tatsujin. Like, rhythm games are really bad about that. There was that game, the Taiko no Tatsujin game that I bought for the Switch. And then there was this Toho puzzle game, Toho, like, Spell Bubble. I got it for Christmas, and it's like fucking loaded with DLC. It's like, goddamn, just fucking make a game and sell the fucking game.
To take a bigger leap forward overall, and this game is really showcasing that. Like, this is such a massive leap forward for Mario Kart, just because it's like, it's different. They're doing something different with Mario Kart.
Is it though?
Mario Kart, which is really cool.
Like,
that it takes place in this giant open world. Here's the thing. I know, like, in recent years of gaming, it's been kind of easy to get fatigued by open world games. Like, every game is an open world.
I haven't seen anything from Mario Kart that makes me think it's like some massive upheaval. Like, I don't, people have, that's not the first time I've heard open world, but I have yet to see any footage that kind of like articulates to me what that means.
You can. But the open world honestly kind of takes some of the coolest parts of like previous Mario Kart games and just kind of expands upon it. Like, I remember back in like Mario Kart Double Dash, where certain tracks in that game, you can see like the other tracks in that game off in the distance. And the fact that we're kind of like not only taking that concept and kind of expanding upon it, but literally it's literally all this game is the idea that like, hey, this all takes place in one world, and the racetracks all exist all around here. You can just drive around and explore. I really hope there's like a ton
okay.
I hope this is like a Breath of the Wild situation where just like there's like all these little things in the distance and you're like, oh man, what's that?
Okay, I kind of get it now a little bit more.
All online is really cool. I will definitely say I am a little worried about the overall track design, which has been alleviated since I've seen like the Treehouse stream showcasing like full.
Also, Scott has this like little rash on his neck that I kind of can't take my eyes off of because he's so pale.
Almost seems like stuff like the track design is a bit simpler than something like Mario Kart 8's. I know we're all pretty much sick of Mario Kart 8 at this point, and Mario Kart World is like a huge step up in pretty much every way. Like, just seeing like everything that they're doing, it genuinely looks incredible.
See, for me, I think what I would want more than anything with a new Mario Kart, if it wasn't $80,
now in terms of like the graphical fidelity,
is for me my favorite Mario Kart, or at least the one I have the most fond memories of, is DS, because it had a lot of things for a single player to do. And I'm primarily like a single player gamer. Like, I'm not very good at competitive video games. Like, I'm not horrible.
Reference to the old school Donkey Kong arcade game, and you see like the girders and stuff as you're going towards, and then you end up going up the ramps, avoiding the barrels. That looks so cool. The fact that you drive
that does look cool.
In the Grand Prix is such like a cool.
Oh, they gave Luigi like a fucking like a Matsuri like hoppy coat costume. That's kind of neat.
Like, oh yeah, get top 50 here, get top 30, get top 20, and if you're not in the top, then you get eliminated. It's kind of almost like also how they did like Nintendo Switch Sports Bowling Online. How like that's done kind of in a similar way. They literally crammed like an infinite amount of characters in this. Like, they literally just put like every single like weird ass Mario enemy in here, which is amazing. I love that.
I mean, yeah, true. I don't think he'll even know. Plus, if he wants to, like, we could do like a celebrity boxing thing. Like he lives like an hour away from where I live. I'll show up. I'll fight him in front of the fucking Toledo Zoo Burger King. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I want Super Smash Kart.
But thank you, man. Have a good night.
My beloved favorite character got into Mario Kart. It's like, buddy, the dolphin with goggles is in Mario Kart. It's not that impressive. I think it's also cool that this game has like a ton of personality and like its user interface. A lot of Nintendo games within the past.
I don't know how long I'm gonna go myself. I
text or something as like their UI.
I need to. I have to go to a doctor tomorrow.
See, this one is like really going for like this kind of like off-road kind of feel to it all. Even with like the main theme. The main theme is really, really fun, and like I love the harmonica with it. It feels like really like, damn, we're like off-roading in the country right now. We're going on an adventure. The way the characters look is phenomenal, and I mentioned this when I was first talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. But Mario Kart 8 still looks amazing. It still looks fantastic. But
yeah, he looks like the kind of guy that would like try to poke at your eyes.
All in the character detail and animation.
That being said, I'm like probably twice as wide as he is.
So cool to see them like this, you know.
So I think all I would have to do is like tackle him.
They've all gotten where like you know, Mario's eyes are a little bigger, definitely a little pudgier, a little more cartoony. You know, obviously trying to take the traditional 2D Mario art and translating that into 3D. You know, they started doing that with Wonder, and you know, they're continuing that with Mario Kart World. And yeah, like I said, like I think just my favorite thing about this is that like it doesn't feel like it's just Mario Kart 8 again with more stuff, you know. We had Mario Kart 8 for 10 years and it was great. It's one of the best Mario Karts. At this point, it is the best Mario Kart. You have 96 courses in that game. I think it's really damn cool that like, hey, they are doing something different with this, but it doesn't even feel like it's like that different. It's like it's a perfect blend of everything. There's all these items too, the new items. They brought the Mega Mushroom back, which, you know, I've bitched about the Mega Mushroom in the past, but I mean, I don't care. I think it's cool as hell that they're bringing certain things back. And as a launch title, this is like, I don't know if you could get a better launch title than this. At this point, like it's the perfect launch title, and like it doesn't feel like they're cutting any corners for it to be at launch. It feels like they've been done with this game for a while, and you can tell like they really know how popular Mario Kart is. Mario Kart is now officially being treated as like Nintendo's top franchise, which is wild. Because like it's always been popular, but you know, obviously in previous years, you know, it's always been about like that 3D Mario or big new Zelda game. And it's still always going to be about that. Those are still like the tentpole Game of the Year franchises. But Mario Kart, it really does feel like they had unlimited amount of time and budget to make the ultimate Mario Kart game. Which is really, really cool. The C button.
Oh no, Rad, what happened?
And I don't give a shit.
I think it's just you and me now, so fucking.
Nintendo hid the C button in the initial.
Oh no!
In the trailer, like the button does not have a logo or anything on it, and then eventually Nintendo.
It should have been me, not him. It isn't fair. Oh, I gotta get that.
Little teasers about the Nintendo Switch.
I gotta get that and add it to the fucking soundboard real quick.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Oh. Oh, now I fucking lost. Oh no, I fucking accidentally hit Photoshop. There it is. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh is another thing as a kid where like the cards were popular and I kind of tried the cards after I did Pokemon. But I never watched the show or anything.
Literally just chatting functionality. I mean, like the way it's done in this is like slick. It looks nice and everything. It looks like it's functionally pretty decent. But to be completely honest, I don't play a ton of online multiplayer games with friends. And if I'm going to, I'm probably just going to use Discord because it's just immediately easier, and I can just, you know, message them on my phone and just do it that way. And then, you know, you don't have to keep playing the game together. You can just chat afterwards, too. Like, who knows? I mean, at the very least, it is kind of like fulfilling the lifelong desire for the Nintendo Switch to have messaging functionality within the system itself, which is nice. And the way they're doing it seems cool. Why the hell do I have to buy a USB camera? I thought it was really strange how much they were focusing on the fact that we're using like a pretty much a $50 webcam that you use for Zoom. That's what it looks like. I've seen like a lot of like businesses and everything, like in their conference rooms, they have like a camera just like this on a little stand. They put it right there. They do their little video calls. I feel like it would have made sense if the Nintendo Switch 2 just had a camera built in. You know, the fact that, like, okay, this is a hybrid console, you know, you go from handheld to console, and then the fact that, you know, you're pushing an accessory at launch that's literally just like a USB camera that you plug in and it just stays there. You know, it pretty much only works like in console mode. I'm sure you could use it in handheld mode, but it's just
this is not working, I think, the way I intended it to.
Functionality exists with this camera, but it would have made sense if, like, you know, it came with the stand, but you could maybe disconnect the camera head and then just like insert it on top of the Nintendo Switch 2. So then you could still, like, you know, hold the Switch 2 and there's like this big ass camera on the top of it or something. It honestly reminds me of like the PSP camera, if you've seen that, where it's just like this thing that plugs into the top. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. I do think parts of this is kind of cute. You know, the fact that it can detect your face, and then in supported games they will show like your little face.
I need to find like what the hell.
It's just weird how much they push this. Like, it's like this, like, oh my god, this brand new amazing thing. I do think like the thing about sharing your game screen and sharing your games too, the fact that they're pretty much bringing back like DS download play to the Nintendo Switch 2. There's a lot of cool things here, but you know, I'm probably not gonna
you know, it's funny. It is fucking scary how similar this has gone to the fucking Xbox One reveal.
Why is it just the letter C? Also, in this direct, they literally spent like 5 minutes on the C button in this trailer thing. Like, I'm like, my god. They went over a lot of like the general specs of the Switch 2. I mean, like, they didn't go like super in detail, but it definitely did kind of feel very un-Nintendo-like over the past like decade or so. We've known these blokes. You know, the fact they were talking about like, oh yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 can output in 4K and reach 120 frames per second. It just felt a little less, a little not unlike our good pals Nintendo, but you know, I think, you know, this is a bit of a new venture for them, and the Switch 2 does seem fairly powerful. You know,
I'll be excited to see if the Switch 2 actually hits 120 FPS. I'm not buying one until they lower the price. I'm gonna be real. I do think the console being that expensive is kind of pushing it, when like the Steam Deck OLED is like only a couple $100 more, and it's like a fucking PC. I think the whole like HD versions of Switch games.
But then the Zelda games are included in Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack.
I don't know how I feel about that either.
It was a little all over the place in terms of messaging. I mean, in the moment,
you know, I heard that the Switch 2's Switch backwards compatibility is going to be actually emulation based. So there isn't a Switch 1 in the console, like there usually is with Nintendo backwards compatible consoles.
Are going to be games that are actually getting like substantial bits of new content with the Nintendo Switch 2 editions. So Mario Party Jamboree is getting like a bunch of new like DLC pretty much in here. Unfortunately, it's all a bunch of like gimmicks that involve like the new Switch 2 accessories and the mouse feature of the Joy-Con. I just say unfortunately because like I would have preferred like more substantial additions rather than like, oh, let's try to showcase the Switch 2. Like I would have like maybe an extra board or something. That would have been kind of cool. And at the very least, I hope like these extra mini games are included like in the board game mode of Mario Party Jamboree, because as good as Mario Party Jamboree is, its minigame selection gets old kind of fast. And from what I've seen from like previews of the Nintendo Switch 2 events they've been doing, Jamboree's like webcam mode is actually pretty seamless. It works pretty quickly. It's not like, oh, when you use like the Kinect for Xbox 360, which this reminded me of, you don't really have to like calibrate it at all. It kind of just detects like you and like gets rid of the background for you, kind of like you know, it's all software based. So it's just like, that's cute, I guess, but, like, I don't really care. I would prefer it if they did like other stuff with Jamboree. I mean, like, you know, it's fine, you know, like, it's nice that Jamboree is getting new content, but you know, I would have preferred like some more substantial extra content rather than just like, oh, let's use a camera and let's use the mouse mode and let's use the microphone and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, I guess. I do think it's really cool that Nintendo is pretty much updating a good chunk of their Switch games, and like games that have been around for a while. I mean, like, you know, Mario Odyssey's getting a free update. For some reason, Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain, is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 update. But it does feel kind of cool that like this ecosystem is going to live on for quite a while, and the Switch 1 games aren't really seen as like, oh yeah, this is some old nonsense, get those out of there. Nintendo's viewing it as like, no, like, we are going to be supporting these games for the foreseeable future with Switch 2. Like, this is all pretty much one big library now, which is what I wanted, you know, like I bought a ton of Switch 1 games, and it's good to know that, like, yeah, like, this library moves forward, and this library is still relevant. It feels really cool, and it definitely feels good, you know, especially considering like all of these remakes and ports and remasters Nintendo has done with Switch 1. It feels really good to know that, like, hey, like, it's almost like Nintendo is building up this perfect catalog of their legacy of software to be playable on, you know, their system, and, you know, hopefully their future systems. You know, for a Nintendo Switch 3, these games are going to continue living on, and you know, you know, it feels really cool. Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition, that was rumored to be, you know, the game Nintendo was showing off to developers at like a GDC event, I believe. And I mentioned that in my thoughts on Switch 2 video on Scott Stash. And yep, that's a thing, but they're also doing Tears of the Kingdom, and it's pretty much just down to these games now actually run well. 4K 60 frames per second, that is pretty wild. I think it'll definitely be interesting to try them out. And also, like, they're using the Nintendo Switch Online app, which has now been renamed the Nintendo Switch app, and I think it is kind of cool that Nintendo is renaming a bunch of this nonsense to,
I never liked the whole fucking app thing for video games. Like, I had it for Splatoon 3, and all it really did was just, like, for like a brief moment, I was using it to get items in a game, and that's it.
Splatoon stuff, the Smash Brothers stuff.
I think that's all kinds of. I think all that shit should just be in the fucking video game. Like, why do we need to develop a separate app? It's stupid.
What they're doing with Zelda is interesting because it's kind of bringing back the functionality that was scrapped from the Wii U build of Breath of the Wild. Like, they showed that off at like the Game Awards 2014, and then when Breath of the Wild released on Wii U, it didn't have any gamepad functionality. They just scrapped it, but it's kind of cool that they're bringing that back with the smartphone app. And Kirby and the Forgotten Land, it's cool that that's going to have a performance bump. I did find it kind of charming in the Switch 1 version how characters in the background moved at like a really low frame rate. I kind of like that, to be honest. But it is cool that like this game is going to like run buttery smooth now, and there's going to be kind of like a little New Game Plus kind of addition there with Star-Crossed World. That's cool, but some of this stuff, like, I kind of would prefer just, like, enhanced performance, and then, like, the DLC stuff, I think would be cool if they just sold that separately. So like I said, you get, like, a lot of games that are just getting free updates. Like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are just getting a free update. You don't have to pay for it, and there's no new content included. You know, I think it would be cool. It's kind of weird that, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like, by and large, the updates for those games are also just performance-based, and then if you want to use your app, you can with those. So, like, I just find it interesting, like, those games are paid for, even though, like, they are included with Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, so that's something, but,
You know, this isn't really reading as, like, a angry fist. I mean, it kind of is, but it's, like, it's kind of too cute.
Insane. It's
I don't know.
4K 60 or 1080p 120 frames per second. That is ridiculous. PS5 games can't even reach that. And I know, like, this game is meant to run on a Switch 1, which is fundamentally, like, basically, like, as powerful as an Xbox 360. So it's like, oh, yeah, you're pretty much taking an Xbox 360 game, and oh, wow, it runs, it's easy to run it at a really high frame rate on a much more powerful thing. Wow. I still think it's impressive. You know what I don't think is impressive? The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Why is that paid?
Yeah, I just I'm tired of phones.
Like 2 hours long, but
I am just kind of like tired of phones.
last you about as long as some certain
Like I'm
games
starting to
like
reject my
those
phone.
games
Like
that you just flat
I legitimately have been considering looking into getting a dumb phone
hack-in game for, like, the Steam Deck. You know, there's some competition when it comes to
as my
technical
next phone.
showcase games.
Because I don't want some stupid AI-enabled piece of shit phone. Like, I'm tired of technology.
Genuinely look like tech demo mini games, you know, like, I guess some of them could be kind of cute, you know, using the mouse and everything, but my god, why is this $10? It's literally meant to teach you about the system. Who wants to pay for that? I know I'm going to, but still, you know, like, this just seems like the most no-brainer, like, including...
I feel like if you're gonna pay for this shit, then don't complain about it. Like, if you're gonna fucking whore out, then, like...
I'm not saying this game doesn't have $10 worth of content.
I don't understand trying to criticize it. You're whoring out.
Guide to your fucking game system. Like, yes, it's cute in the way it does it, but... Like, for the most part, what they showed here kind of looks like just, like, an interactive version of an instruction manual. And then everything else they're doing here are, like, asset flips. Like, this speed golf thing is, like, an asset flip from, like, Clubhouse Games, like, their golf mode. And, like, this stuff isn't even, like, that good. Like, look at the dodge the spike balls minigame. Like, there's barely any background. And what is this shit showing you? How to use a goddamn computer mouse? I'll still buy it. I'll be happy doing it, but I'm definitely gonna have something to talk about in therapy eventually. Drag and Drive. So this is their big mouse showcase game. A lot of people were kind of speculating, oh, what's the big mouse showcase game? You know what I thought before the Switch 2 Direct? I kind of thought.
You know, I'm really surprised they didn't do an RTS game.
They could make an air hockey game.
Oh, that too. That could
I
work.
wasn't expecting this to be an air hockey game, but I wanted to say that before I saw anybody else mention it. Air hockey. You could do air hockey with the Joy-Con. That would be really fun. But no, Drag and Drive is actually like a wheelchair basketball-based game, which is definitely an interesting concept. It is pretty cool, and it definitely does utilize the Joy-Con mouse.
I didn't think the wheelchair game was as dumb as some people thought it was. I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's supposedly coming out this year, and it looks like the frame rate is not good. The arenas are completely barren and dark. You have absolutely no character here. It's just like these blank-faced robots. The concept is cute. I think it's like a cute concept that, like, okay.
I don't know why they have to be wheelchair people though.
Cool mice, you know,
like you could have made them robots.
Concept, but, like, holy crap, bro.
It's just like the fucking D&D wheelchair argument thing. It's like.
And I really hope there's like a lot more personality in this game. I hope there's cool arenas, and I hope there's cool characters, and I hope there's more to do. Because this looks like a $10 downloadable game currently. But, you know, I hope they prove me wrong. But, my God, this did not impress me. The concept kind of impressed me. I'm like, yeah, that's cool that they're using the Joy-Con to mice in this way. But, yeah, this game did not look
Yeah, fucking leg. Call it. We had arms. Get ready for fucking legs.
As the original Switch Pro controller, just has the C button now, an audio jack, and it also has like the back buttons GL and GR. You know, I mean, it's there, but I never use that stuff. I mean, like, yeah, it's always just about like, hey, you can map it there. That's neat. But I do think the concept that I saw, like, I think Nintendo patented something that was potentially like a.
I want to fix this. I don't like this drawing I did of
like
my own character.
You know, like, I was definitely interested to see, like, oh, wow, what if you could detach the Pro Controller grips and then put that onto the Switch 2 and you have much more comfortable controllers there. That would have been cool, but, like, at the end of the day, like, I think this is probably the safer bet. The Pro Controller for Switch 1 is, like, one of the best controllers, honestly. Like, it feels so good. This looks like it's, you know, it's basically the same thing. I mean, you can use the Switch 1 controllers on Switch 2, which is nice, because this would honestly be really annoying to buy because it is also $10 more expensive than the original Pro Controller, and they don't really add a ton of features here. I'm like, do I really want to spend $80 on this when it's literally just the Switch Pro Controller, but with two completely unnecessary buttons on the back for me personally, and a headphone jack, and a C button, which I'm not really going to use. We'll see. If you know me, you know that we'll see means I'm gonna buy it. After all this, we went into a really big third-party section, and this portion just kind of was kind of where like the show kind of went to a crawl. I mean, like, after Mario Kart, honestly, the direct kind of like slowed down a bit for me. Like, there wasn't a ton of like super exciting things. The third-party section was cool. Like, the third-party support the Switch 2 has is amazing. The fact that we went from, like, you know, Wii U and even the Wii's third-party support with all the crap that got to what we're getting with Switch 2.
I want to copy and paste myself something. Hang on.
Incredible. You know, the fact that they started off with Elden Ring is really cool. I think my problem is, like, I expected pretty much like all of these games. There wasn't a ton of surprises here. Honestly, a lot of these are like, yeah, I kind of expected that. I think it is cool that you could tell, for the most part, these were all the Switch 2 versions because they didn't look as good as they probably could have. But hey, at least that shows, like, the Switch 2 is going to run these games in a playable state. It's probably not going to be, like, the sexiest thing in the world, but, you know, hey, whatever. I'm not going to kink shame. I think what made the third-party section just not that interesting or exciting for me is just the fact that a good handful of these titles were already available on Switch 1, and it wasn't really like, oh wow, the Switch 2 version is
the hell is Pure F?
like Hades 2. Yeah, it's great to know that'll be on Switch 2. Like, it'll have
Jesus, I haven't even beat Hades 1. I think I got to the. You're supposed to beat that game like 10 times to get the real ending. But like roguelike games, I have the same problem with all of them, where once I beat it once, it's like, okay, I beat it once, I give up. Fucking Synthetic was like that for me too.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is a great game, and it's really cool that that's going to be on Switch 2 at launch. A big surprise to me was just how much of this stuff is going to be at launch. When they were doing like their little like sizzle reels, and they just showed like the sheer amount of these third-party games that are going to be available at launch. So, I mean, like, let's look at this list of like all these Switch 2 games. So all of these games are going to be available on June 5th, the launch of the system. Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer. Wow, it's definitely kind of weird. I guess like they're doing like
Ridge Racer.
2. And I looked it up, like, why is it called Arcade Archives 2, other than the fact that it's on Switch 2? I guess because, like, all of the Arcade Archives games were, like, sprite-based. Like, they're mostly just all 2D games, where this, like, is kind of like, hey, we're going to be doing 3D games now, so this is Arcade Archives 2. Remember the first year of the Switch, where literally, like, 20 of the games that would release every month were Arcade Archives Neo Geo games? good to see we're back with more Arcade Archives junk. That is kind of cool, but we also have Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster, which I think is a Switch 2 exclusive game. At the very least, like right now, there's only a Switch 2 version announced. That's weird. There's no reason why that wouldn't run on Switch 1. It's a 3DS game. And again, like a big problem I have is the fact that the game card is a game key card. I'm like, pshaw, get out of here. We also have Cyberpunk. That's a huge deal. I mean, I really enjoy Cyberpunk. I love the world of Cyberpunk. I think it's really impressive. But, you know, I've played like a good couple of hours of it multiple times. Like, I played through like different campaigns for a couple hours each. But I think having a Switch 2 version is honestly going to be pretty cool. Like, I'm definitely interested in playing that game, like lounging on the couch. And that's going to be available at launch. And I didn't realize that because the North American Nintendo Direct stream froze randomly. Like they were talking about like some indie game. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. It's just I didn't recognize the game, and I was like, all right, and then it froze, and I'm like, oh god, that was probably the most anxiety I ever experienced this year so far. And, you know, at first it was like, okay, so that froze, and I think they were mentioning, like, Enter the
The
Gungeon 2.
Ikamusume guy doesn't really
like,
do a
okay,
lot
I
of
can kind of assume what
chibi
these
stuff.
games look like, whatever. You know, it's frozen on, like, a certain image, but you can still hear the audio.
At least he doesn't in this
and then they
fucking...
start talking about Final Fantasy VII, and then they start talking about Cyberpunk, and I'm like, god damn it. I'm like, I don't want to miss any major announcements. And, like, yeah, of course, it happened during, like, probably the biggest
Dozen Volume 5.
during that Direct. So yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk and like the entire game is going to be on the cartridge, which just seems like, you know, it is kind of a big tradition for CD Projekt Red. They were really proud of
I'm just gonna go with this fucking Fate School Life thing.
you know, the fact that they were able to do that with Cyberpunk for Switch 2 and at launch, no less, is like super impressive. It's really cool that that's going to be available at launch. Deltarune chapters 3 and 4, like on the same day on Switch 2 at launch. Like, this launch is crazy, man. This is intense. Fast Fusion, we're gonna have, like, remember Fast RMX from Switch 1? Now we're gonna have another Fast game available at launch of Switch 2. Fortnite? That's probably gonna be a big deal that Fortnite's actually gonna run well on a Nintendo platform now. Hitman, World of Assassination, that is cool that is going to be available because Hitman 3 was a cloud game only on Switch 1. So it's really cool that, like, the whole Hitman trilogy is going to be available on Switch 2 natively. Hogwarts Legacy, which the Switch 1 version of that is weird. That's like one of the weirdest ports within the past like couple of years. The fact that like that game is supposed to be open world, but the Switch 1 version is like sectioned off, so it's not open world. It's weird. So I guess that's cool that game is going to be available on Switch 2 at launch, and it's going to be like pretty much the full-blown game. Kunitsugami, I actually haven't heard of this game, but it's a Capcom game, and it released in 2024, and that's going to be available at launch. Mario Kart World is going to be a launch title. I wonder what everybody's gonna buy, that or Survival Kids by Konami. Yakuza 0 after Yakuza Kiwami released for Switch 1 like last year. Split Fiction, I still haven't played Split Fiction, and I love Hazelight's games. It Takes Two is incredible, and I heard nothing but good things about Split Fiction. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. I love Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, but I'm just going like, what? I feel like they're just trying to replicate what happened with Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 on the Switch 1. The fact that that kind of hit early on for the Switch 1. I'm sure they're trying to see if they can replicate similar success with this, but it's like, there's certain things where I'm like, this game is already available on Switch 2. Like, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Switch 1. I don't know who's going to buy this. I don't know what's included with this version. So, like, there are certain games that are getting, like, Switch 2 versions that I'm just kind of going, like, why? Who else got hyped as to see the Daemon X Machina sequel? Okay. Madden being available on Switch 2 is a pretty big deal. I mean, it's crazy that we went the entire Switch 1 generation without any Madden at all. But you know, the fact that, hey, it'll be here for Switch 2 alongside more FC, and WWE 2K is making its triumphant return after WWE 2K18.
Get the fans off their feet.
Man.
Oh boy, I can't wait for more of that. Am I being crazy, or like when they had IO Interactive on to talk about Hitman?
EA Sports just makes me sad at this point that it exists still.
I was expecting that was going to be the first time we see gameplay of that game, but like I swear that game was announced years ago, and they just played the same like concept trailer that they showed years ago, and they still don't have a name, they still don't have anything, but they're like, it'll be on Switch too. I'm like, okay. This one is easy for me to forget about. The fact that they announced new Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, which I remember seeing people mention how, you know, hey, they can do a similar thing to Age of Calamity with Tears of the Kingdom, where they can show the imprisoning war. I'm going to be honest, I will play this game, but I've already bitched about Tears of the Kingdom story enough, how I didn't really care about it. So I'm not necessarily all too interested in this one. I do think it is cool that I believe this is going to be a canonical story. I think they mentioned that this is the actual story that happened in the Tears of the Kingdom universe, and that was my biggest problem with Age of Calamity, is the fact that it was some Dumbo baby bullshit, some fairy tale ass version of what happened before Breath of the Wild. I hated that about that game. That game was fun, but like, goddamn, that pissed me off. So it is cool that like I feel like they kind of listened to a lot of complaints with this one, and it is interesting because this is probably going to be like a linkless adventure. Like, it's going to be mostly focused on Princess Zelda and you know, like because just what happened in Tears of the Kingdom, like she was trapped in the past, and you know, this is going to be that story, and there's not going to be a link, so that'll definitely be pretty interesting, I think. And the fact that it's going to be on Switch too, it's going to run well. I feel like there will probably be Link as like an unlockable or something at the end of the game or something, or whatever, you know. He's probably going to be in there at some point, but I think for the majority of the adventure, it's going to be mostly just about Zelda, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's going to be available during winter, and you know, I mean, sure, I'm not crazy ecstatic over this game, but it makes sense, and I'm definitely interested to just give it a try. But I'm not like I'm not slobbering over this game, you know. I'm like, all right, you know, that makes sense. I would have preferred maybe just like, you know, taking another Nintendo series and doing a Warriors game out of it. You know, I think Xenoblade Warriors would be interesting, and I'm not even a Xenoblade fan, but like, I think, you know, just the variety would be a little interesting. You know, we've already gone to Hyrule Warriors in this style before, but this is definitely going to be like a quality experience, I think. The fact that it's canonical, I think, makes it fine in my eyes. Oh, baby. We got to the GameCube section. This is so cute. This is so fun. Yeah, the fact that GameCube games are going to be available on Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack is pretty wild. I love this. And, you know, this goes with the whole, like, renaming thing that I was talking about earlier. The name of the app and just the library of games here is no longer, you know, like, let's say, oh, GameCube, Nintendo Switch Online, NES, Nintendo Switch Online. They renamed it to Nintendo Classics. I am interested what they're going to rename the Sega Genesis app, though. Like, is it called Nintendo Classics? Is that just gonna still be called Nintendo Switch Online? I don't know. But yeah, you know, they renamed it. Makes a lot more sense now. It's honestly kind of like bringing back the branding from the NES and SNES Classic Edition. How at the top of those boxes it says, like, you know, it shows the controller and it says Classics and all that. So it's kind of bringing that branding back in a strange way. The fact that this is going to be available at launch too is wild. So GameCube emulation is pretty easy overall. Everybody can do it. Like, Dolphin is like one of the easiest, most user-friendly emulators to deal with. Still cool as hell. I really like this. And just the fact that we can look forward to monthly or potentially just random drops of like GameCube games getting added to this service is so damn cool. Like, I can just imagine, like, they're literally just gonna throw fucking Barnyard for GameCube at us one day. That's fucking awesome! I'm a little surprised that they didn't do Melee. You know, I mean, they haven't even done Smash 64 yet for the N64 app, but I definitely found it a little interesting that, you know, like when they were showing all the games that were gonna add in the future, I was expecting to see a little melee at the end. I thought that would have been kind of like the big stinger, but still, the selection is kind of cool. You know, they're starting with Wind Waker, which doesn't deconfirm a Wind Waker HD port, but it is definitely a little strange. At the very least, like with GameCube on Nintendo Switch Online, with that being exclusive to Switch 2, it definitely makes sense that, you know, like, oh, we'll probably get, you know, like, Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD as a Switch 1 game that you can then, you know, play on your Switch 2. Soul Calibur 2 is incredible. You know, the fact that we have that on Switch 2 and, you know, it has the link and everything is super cool. F-Zero GX is an incredible game, and, you know, in fact, we're going to get the original version of Sunshine, the Pokemon games, Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion. It's incredible, and, yeah, just the fact that, like, we can look forward to just, like, randomly seeing, like, GameCube games get added to Nintendo Switch Online. Like, that is so much more exciting to me than waiting for like a random Nintendo 64 game to drop, or just seeing what they can.
I still gotta play F-Zero GX. I got a copy of it. God, tying it back to the fucking Toledo, Ohio lore. So if you're familiar with the infamous video game Underground, has the best video games in town. I visited there once, and he was a nice guy who ran the store. I remember I picked up a couple things. I picked up a copy of F-Zero GX. And I think I paid like $30 or $40 for it. I picked up Tetris DS. Oh, you did so. Oh, you're running some paint. Oh, we were just talking about how I have a copy of F-Zero GX. Thank you to Video Game Underground. Has the best video game deals in town.
Overall, I thought the third-party support was definitely really strong.
It is suspiciously close to where Mr. Waz lives, but not anymore. They were out of business now.
Pretty much purely on third-party games, and like I said, like
it's very
these are cool.
unfortunate.
I think certain games, like they showed, like Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Switch 2. Now, is that a game that like I'm really going to sit down and enjoy on my PS5? I don't really care about that game enough to do that, but you know, the thought of actually doing that.
You know, we're talking about buying expensive stuff. I think that's what I need to buy next. Is a spray booth.
I don't know. It's definitely, you know, I hope kind of like that pure magic of being able to play console games on the go is kind of like reignited with the Switch 2, because you know, seeing games like this on handheld, I feel like it's definitely going to hit a lot harder in person. But then again, you know, we've had stuff like the Steam Deck, you know, in recent years, and you know, I feel like, you know, seeing this stuff isn't going to be as like wild, like mind-blowing, like oh my gosh, but definitely very cool. But the novelty is definitely not as there as it was with the Switch 1. And also, honestly, like a good chunk of the Direct being filled with these games when like, yeah, most of these are like old games. Like, it's cool that they're coming to Switch 2, but there's not much to really talk about other than like,
yeah, I gotta play.
And you're also not,
I don't know, like,
how did they do this? It's just like, yeah, the Switch 2 is more powerful.
Dang, dude, that's fucking crazy.
I don't know. There were so many like miracle ports on the
Damn.
Switch 1 that I'm kind of going like, yeah, they could get Nier Automata running on Switch 1. Am I really that shocked that they got Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2? Now, I think what was the most surprising thing was at the very end, they announced the Dusk Floods from Software. So an exclusive From Software game. It is a multiplayer-focused title. Like, I think it's entirely multiplayer-focused. So I'm not really sure if this is, like, going to be, like a big, like, oh, yeah, this is, like, From Software's next Elden Ring. Like, I feel like it's probably not going to be that. It's probably kind of one of their lesser titles. But, I mean, it's a Miyazaki game. You know, he's the director of all kind of, like, the major...
But, yeah, I've got plenty of Cube games we need to play.
But he's not
I've got...
like
We still got to do more Monkey Ball. We got to do more Custom Robo. I've got Monkey Ball 2 loaded as well.
We'll see. You know, I think it's just a massive thing to just see, like, yeah.
Battalion Wars.
We're getting a From Software
F-Zero
exclusive
GX, Kirby's Air
for Switch
Ride.
2. I believe it is published by Nintendo, and at the time, I almost thought, like, what if this is like Bloodborne, which doesn't make any sense because I believe Sony.
Then on top of that,
Bloodborne.
I have to put that
But,
flippy
like,
drive in
it's
my
strange that it
GameCube,
happened because, like, in the Switch
which
One Direct,
means
you got
I
the
will have
Fire.
access to some
Like,
very
that
rare
had,
and
like, a
expensive
handful
GEMU.
of Sony IPs that Sony licensed out to get like multi-platform releasing. So it's just like everybody's golf is a Sony IP, and that got like that was shown in the Nintendo Direct because Sony doesn't give a shit about that series anymore. So they let Bandai Namco
Holy shit! Fucking Ollies.
They don't care. Like, yeah, sure.
We sell a lot to Ollies.
Handle all this. We don't care about these franchises.
Like, I've had items that I've designed sold
Bloodborne,
there.
I feel like there was like this part of me that I'm like,
That is amazing.
it's probably not this. It might be like a weird spiritual successor, like in the same universe kind of thing.
Whoever, man, I'd love to be on their fucking art team.
I think it is really cool. and
I
it
would
shows that
love
Nintendo
to
means
be
business
on
with
their
this.
like
The fact that they're willing to work with
their like marketing sales team.
in gaming. You know, like just the fact seeing their name is just like enough for people to go like, oh my god. So yeah, that's a huge deal in the 2026 game. And then they only had 2 announcements left, and they were both first party announcements. And that's kind of my biggest disappointment with the Direct itself was kind of the lack of focus on first party Nintendo. And I think like the Switch 1 Direct the week prior.
I don't know. I might not have enough dad puns to put on my resume.
Like the Switch 1 Direct would have made sense if it showed off more like first party Nintendo games that were releasing over the next coming months. But what that Direct pretty much did was just showcase like 2 brand new Nintendo games that were releasing in 2026.
Also, I'm really running
so they
out
didn't
of
really answer many
gas.
questions. And then
So
when it came to
unfortunately, I
Switch
think
2
I'm gonna
content
wrap
that they
this
showed off in
drawing
this
up
Direct, pretty much
here.
most of it was like all we
And
really
then,
know about is like what's releasing within the first month of the Switch 2. And then outside of that, like there's a couple of games we know about.
And
but
maybe
not a
consider
ton.
calling it.
So you know, I was almost expecting to get basically the entirety of 2025 like scheduled out and to just know like what was releasing. But I mean, I guess it makes sense if they would do something like, hey,
I was gonna try to do a couple more panels, but I'm clearly getting distracted and like I am very tired.
Kind of a replacement of E3, and you know, I think it would make sense if like a couple weeks after Switch 2 releases, they do another Nintendo Direct, and you know, they follow up on some of the games that they talked about here, and you know, they also announce more games to come out later in 2025. But I think that was the kind of the biggest disappointment for me was kind of a lack of focus on first party releases. But you know, they had 2 final announcements, with the first of the 2 being Kirby Air Riders being directed by Sakurai. And they actually announced this later, but it's being developed by Bandai Namco. I like Kirby Air Ride. It's not like my favorite thing. I didn't grow up with it, so like playing it, I'm like, this is cool. I respect it. But just the fact that we got a sequel developed by Sakurai. Sakurai came back to Kirby.
I don't like how he says Sakurai.
Franchise,
Like it's fucking
to work on
like
Kirby
it's
Air
like a
Ride
ball
for the
sack.
GameCube. So the fact that,
Sakudai.
like, the concept of Kirby Air Ride is enough for Sakurai to come back to Kirby
Sakurai,
twice at
Jesus.
this point. This is just really cool to see. It's really, really cool. I'm really happy to see Sakurai do something that's not Smash Brothers. I think he kind of deserves like a fun project like this.
Miyamoto.
Like he's just like, I want to do another Kirby Air Ride, and he's able to do it, and that's really cool. Definitely came out of nowhere.
I
too.
woulda.
I just was not expecting a Kirby Air Ride sequel to be one of the tentpole games Nintendo shows off for the Switch 2 in its big debut Direct. Very, very neat. I'm very interested to see how it, you know, what it plays like and everything. You know, the trailer didn't show any gameplay or anything, but yeah, I do think like that does kind of go along with the lack of first-party games. You know, the fact that they show off Mario Kart World, and then one of the other few first-party games they show off and announce is another racing game. So, you know, I do love that this was announced, but, you know, I do wish there was, like, maybe 2 other first-party announcements, I guess. But, oh my god. the final announcement, I'm in love. So everybody was predicting like 3D Mario. I was predicting 3D Mario. But, you know, there have been rumors for years at this point that the Mario Odyssey team was not working on a new 3D Mario. Instead, they were working on a 3D Donkey Kong game. And, yeah.
I did not like
and
that Donkey Kong game.
Practically launch title. It's coming out like within a month of its
I just feel like it looked like every other... Like, Nintendo has like a... Nintendo has a fucking, like, safe kind of graphic design to a lot of their games, like render pipeline or whatever, that I just really don't like in recent years. Like, I didn't really like it in Odyssey, and this just seems like it's like the same thing, but with like an uglier Donkey Kong.
It looks so cool. The visuals and the visual quality of this game is amazing. The animations and expression that Donkey Kong has, you know, they're using this new design for Donkey Kong where, you know, he doesn't have the furrowed brow anymore. I mean, like, he can get angry, but they definitely want to have him be a little goofier now and just have more expressions. So, you know, they kind of make him a little more chummy with his new eyebrows.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for the new Donkey Kong design.
I did like the new design when we saw it initially in the
it seems way too much like a modern Nintendo character.
For Mario Kart World with like Donkey Kong,
And I know 100% they did it because Miyamoto has famously fucking hated that Rareware made the popularized version of his character.
Is so damn cool in this game. It looks like one of the best things about Mario Odyssey is the movement in that game. Just feeling like you can just pull off all these different moves, and you can see like a lot of different moves Donkey Kong pulls off in Bonanza that really feel like it invokes the same thing. And it's obviously done by the Mario Odyssey team. Like the UI feels
it just looks like Mario Odyssey to me.
A little companion,
I guess too, and that's kind of just why I'm like kind of off put by it.
He gets Flood and Sunshine. He gets Luma in the Galaxy games. He gets Cappy in Mario Odyssey. You know, he has a little rock buddy here, and you know, like it just feels like they wanted to do something new and just something fresh, and that's what this feels like. You know, I'm happy this isn't a 3D Mario. I definitely want a 3D Mario for Switch 2. I really hope that, you know, maybe they were sitting on this game for a while, and within the next 2 years we're gonna see a 3D Mario come out, or maybe they have a different section of the team working on it. Maybe they have like one section that was working on Donkey Kong and one section that was working on Mario. But for the big AAA like 3D platformer kind of like showcase game, this is so damn cool. I think it's so cool.
Okay, I need to actually fucking wrap this shit up.
Of this game. It's not that they weren't proud of previous Donkey Kong games, but you know, like Donkey Kong Country Returns was a big deal. Tropical Freeze was sort of just petered out, you know, like it was like they were proud of that, but like that game was kind of seen as like another 2D game. This one feels like they are really focusing on it like it's a 3D Mario. Like, damn, this.
How is the Ollie's Twitter, by the way?
The box art, oh my god, it looks fucking awesome. The fact that you can just tear apart the whole like terrain, and that's a big element. You know, it feels like this is like a combination of like everything Donkey Kong has been. You know, you can definitely get like some Jungle Beat vibes from this, but then, you know, they're also referencing a shit ton from Donkey Kong Country, and that's really cool because Jungle Beat didn't do anything with Donkey Kong Country. It almost acted like Donkey Kong Country never existed. This one, like, they're just celebrating Donkey Kong, but also moving him forward and doing something brand new with him, and it is so damn cool. Because Donkey Kong is like such a well-known IP. Everybody knows Donkey Kong, and his games do well. Like, Donkey Kong can be like a leading mascot for Nintendo when they want him to be. Like, Donkey Kong Country, when that hit on the Super Nintendo, did numbers. It was like one of the biggest games that generation, and that was basically a reboot. You know, like Donkey Kong prior to that was just like the 3 arcade games. And then, you know, you get Country in the Country series, and then 64, and like, you know, Donkey Kong was big back then, and then, you know, it kind of petered out. Just, you know, a bunch of spin-offs throughout the 2000s. But then you get Donkey Kong Country Returns, and, you know, that was a big deal on Wii. That did very well. But, you know, it felt like
horrible!
Donkey Kong, but, you know, it would eventually peter out, and then they didn't really know what to do with him.
Calm down,
And,
son.
you know, I felt like that
It's
happened
just
at
a corporate
this
Twitter.
point, and Bonanza feels like they are really going like, Donkey Kong is one of our main fucking guys, and let's treat him like it. And it looks amazing. The music in the trailer feels so exciting. I love it. And like, oh my god, his face, his animations are so good. These like character models are so smooth. Like, this feels like a genuine next-gen Nintendo game. And it is so exciting to be at this point where it's just like, this doesn't look like it would work on Switch 1. This looks so smooth. This looks so unique and creative and fun. I'm in love with this game. I cannot wait to try it out. So like overall, I mean, ending on that was like really like I was like smitten. I was like, this is so cool. Then you know I was like, that was a good direct. You know, I think like the third-party section kind of brought it down for me, not because it was bad, but just because, like, it just wasn't that interesting. A lot of it was kind of like, this game's coming to Switch 2. I'm like, cool. That was just kind of the extent of my reaction to a lot of that. And going over a lot of, like, the tech specs and stuff, it was definitely interesting, but a lot of it, like, kind of already knew. But I saw a lot of people kind of have the same sentiment. They were pretty happy with what was shown. I think a lot of the Nintendo announcements were fantastic. I think the games they showed off were... Like, they were at the top of their game with Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, and a lot of stuff, like, you know, like, just seeing, like, some cool updates to Switch 1 games.
I don't know. I personally, I feel like I disagree with that sentiment. I feel like Nintendo games are, for the past, like, over 10 years at this point, like, since, honestly, like, the Wii U... It feels like Nintendo games, like, design and, like, art-wise have been insanely dialed in. It seems like they don't really want to... They have, like, a type, and they just kind of have stuck with it. And they've only begrudgingly kind of explored a little bit outside of that.
I think it'll do fine. I think it will initially do very well, and then, you know, the sales might peter out a little bit, you know, like, we might be in, like, a 3DS situation, I guess, or, you know, you have all the diehard fans rushing to buy it at launch. A couple months later, you don't have as many people that are looking to buy it because it might be a little too pricey, and then whatever happens, man. If Nintendo is like, oh, wow, this isn't doing very well, they're gonna drop the price, or they're gonna add more incentives, and if the price is really that much of a sticking point for you, yeah, you should wait, because... You know, if enough people think the way you do, which apparently a lot of people are, then yeah, you know, they're gonna course correct. But you know what? I think a lot of the people that are bitching are actually gonna buy the system at launch, and Nintendo's never gonna drop the damn price ever. Overall, I was fairly content with what they showed. I thought it was a pretty decent direct. Definitely had a really great beginning and end, and the middle was kind of like, you know, like, all right, you know, I'm just hanging out, watching this right now. But yeah, I think the system does look really nice. I think the power of it seems like it's at a very solid level. The games Nintendo showed off, specifically, you know, Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, I thought were incredible. I love them. Price is absolutely ridiculous. I think the console price is expensive, but I don't think it's like absolutely like absurd. I think it's like it's like doable, I guess. It's in game console.
That is something I do disagree, or I agree with.
You're getting a fair
is
amount with
I
this,
think
you
the
know,
console itself wasn't super off of what I was expecting it to
I'm not
be.
advocating for the price, but I also don't think it's like absurd. Game prices are absurd. Specifically Mario Kart, that's kind of the main thing. But even then,
I bet the game prices are just straight up fucking bullshit.
But even then, I see people complaining that, like, oh, well, the bundle is a limited production. They're not going to be making them for forever. They're only going to be making them throughout up until the holiday season. Or
Like, if
something.
Red
They
Dead
said,
Redemption
like,
2 can cost like $400 fucking billion to make or some shit, and still sell at like a regular retail thing, Nintendo has no excuses.
I don't see why that's
It's just greed.
I feel like they're just
Plain
gonna
and
do
simple.
Another bundle bundle or something. Or like they might introduce a fucking bundle with like Mario Kart World and like a Nintendo Switch Online subscription or something. I don't know. Like it's just like, yeah, it's a bundle with a download code in it. There's definitely going to be more Nintendo Switch 2 bundles with download codes in it. You know, like they're probably just going like, hey, this isn't going to be like available all the time. We're going to be doing this for like the first couple of months. And people are acting like this is like f***ed up. Like what the, oh my god. They're f***ing with us. I don't think it's that funny. I feel like a lot of people just think like this console is designed to just
just
exploit.
I don't understand people's insane valuation of Rockstar games. Like I do not think their games are like as special as I think some people seem to think they are.
They're f***ing with us. It's like with the game key cards and the bundle and all of that. I honestly think the biggest problem is just the price of the system is $50 more expensive than I would have wanted it to be, and then Mario Kart World is $80 for some goddamn reason. Other than that, those are kind of the only big issues I have, honestly. Oh, what the f*** am I thinking? The box art sucks. Oh my god. Okay, so it's obvious Nintendo doesn't want to have a repeat of the Wii U, but even that, the Wii U had such a different box art to the Wii. So like they tried with that one. This one, okay, I hate the fact that like it is growing on me, not in the sense that I like it now, but like I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I'm getting used to it. But it's obvious to me they didn't want to do like the whole like Switch 2 logo in the corner like with the Switch 1, because there's a chance that like, you know, you're gonna confuse it for a Switch 1 game. I really like the Switch 1 boxes. They're very simple, but like I think the logo in the corner is such a very bold choice. It looks nice, and you know, it's unique. It looks good, and like you can see a good chunk of the box art that way. You know, like not a ton of the box art is obscured with the Switch logo there. The Switch 2 one, there's no like there's no statement here. There's no like unique style they're going for here. It's
no, man,
a top
fuck.
banner with the Switch 2 logo in the middle, and it just looks weird. Like I'm like, the Switch 2 logo being in the middle, it oddly looks a little too small. I feel like they should have done something where it's like, I don't know, like maybe the Switch 2 logo is in the corner, and like maybe it's just the Joy-Con logo in the corner, and then the actual Nintendo Switch like text is kind of more so like, you know, following it, almost like the PlayStation boxes. How you know,
yeah, honestly, I think it's just because Grand Theft Auto has like ridiculous normie like appeal. Like it's like I liken it to like Call of Duty and like sport games.
And you know what's also kind of cool is the fact that the spines, I believe, are going to be not all red. It's going to have like a unique art on the side, which is cool. So I'm kind of like, all right, you know, that's kind of cool. I like the consistency of the Switch 1 games, but you know, just being in a sea of red, it makes it kind of hard to see all the games you have from a distance because they all look the same, you know, and the text is so small that like you really have to go up in front of them and you have to like whatever, almost go one by one to find the game you're looking for. These Switch 2 editions, I mean, like, look at the Kirby and the Forgotten Land box art. It's just fucking just filled to the brim with all this bullshit. You get like the addition, like, oh, Starcross Road, like addition to the box art, and then
okay, this is bad. This is really bad.
Text at the bottom that's literally like explaining what this is. This is the Nintendo Switch 1 game with the Nintendo Switch 2 enhancements added to it, and it has that for everything, and every box art has a damn QR code on it. This is rough. I would have probably preferred if the Switch 2 header was like a little smaller, just a little thinner. I would have liked that.
Okay, I guess that could work.
That big. I've seen a lot of like fan art, like mock-ups of like a better version of this, and like nearly all of them look a million times better. But the box arts themselves, like the Mario Kart World box art and the Donkey Kong Bonanza box art, look super good.
15 and 16, yeah.
It's really nice.
I couldn't even tell you what the fuck Final Fantasy 16 was about.
I like it. It feels like they're
like I know 15 is the one where they're in the fucking car doing like the weird like American like fantasy road trip.
The hell out of everybody. Overall, the prices are stupid, but other than that, I'm actually cool with most of this. I think there's some good-ass games they showed off. I think third-party support seems really damn good for the Switch 2. And overall, I'm just really excited that this ecosystem is living on. The menu of the Switch 2 sucks. They didn't really change it up. They changed up some elements of it. The eShop is new. Like, it definitely does look a lot better. But I kind of wish that they kind of went in
Yeah.
a little bit more. I actually don't mind the Switch 1 menu. I think I just would like to see it just expand more throughout the years. Like, I wish there was just more to it. But I do like how snappy and quick it is. And so it's just like, I don't mind that it's basically the same damn thing, but I also do sort of.
Shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I shouldn't have done it.
Crayola Scoot would have been even cooler.
Alright, what should we listen to next while we wrap this up? Although, I probably should get going. I want to finish, so you know what, we're putting Bimbos on again, the second part. Yeah, I'm like finishing up myself. I just gotta tidy up some things here.
This train ride is supposed to be about an hour. I think it's almost over. Then I've got my final transfer in JR train from Takasaki, which is where I'm getting off in a second, to the station that's
I at least want to fully finish this this panel.
19-20 minute walk from that station, which is awfully convenient. Man, look at this. It's pretty. Man, I can't stop filming these trains. I feel like a Dachi right now.
Editor's note. Adachi is the 52-year-old man who ran the website that helped Nick discover the location of Microsoft Bimbos. Adachi is a train otaku and has a YouTube channel featuring hundreds and hundreds of videos of Japanese trains.
Adachi, bro, I just want to say I get it. These trains are sick. I got that dog in me too, it turns out.
I wonder when Nick is gonna do his take it easy, man, have a good one. I wonder when Nick is going to do his train otaku expose and accidentally get run over because one of them pushed him onto the tracks trying to get their mic in position.
I forget that they're double-ended like that, so they can just turn around and change directions. Hopefully I can get that on camera at some point, but the way that at the end of a line, all the chairs, like every single individual chair 180s, it's really cool. I like that little splash animation when you press the button.
Oops.
Been to this part of Japan before, and yeah, it's starting to feel a little more like suburban, quiet, like the town where Microsoft Bimbos was born. bottle cap art is pretty new to me. I've never seen anything like this. The Gunma Esports Union. I'm about to join, bro. I don't really recognize anything yet. Like, no landmarks have jumped out at me, but also this is not an area I ever went to in Google Earth VR. Like, over there's you can see the station that I just came out of. And I never had any reason to come this way when I was looking for Microsoft Bimbos, because I was strictly in Kawaii-Machi, like right on one edge of it. And I don't think Kawaii-Machi has its own station, but it's adjacent to this one. So yeah, this is a new place for me for now, but I'm gonna keep walking until it's not. All Japan high school esports. Yo, I'm bad at all three of these games. I don't think I could pass as a Japanese high school student. So my dream of joining the Gunma Esports League might have just crashed and burned. My plan was just to get here as quickly as possible while the sun was still up, because the sun's been setting at like 4:30 p.m. here, which I succeeded at. It's like, what, 1:45? I got plenty of time. So I'm gonna go eat for the first time today, maybe find a coin locker to throw my backpack and laptop in, and then make the trek. Oh, you can see exactly what happened. SMH. Got some big ass heads of lettuce. This feels a little familiar to me, if I'm being honest. I remember being in Street View going along a much smaller river like this one, but this was quite a journey to go see a largely empty, or I mean, like, that's how it looked on Google Maps. I guess I don't really know. Maybe someone moved in. Alright, it's starting to feel a little bit more familiar. I swear I remember seeing Tanaka Dental Clinic. I want to get hit by a rectangle-shaped car so bad. See, in America, you get hit by that, you roll right over. I want it to feel like a wall. Hello, storage. Damn, she's really... The branding is thorough. It is not a half-hearted job. And they got all the licensing sorted too. It's not a knockoff. This is officially licensed Sanrio storage.
So I'm probably not going to do this tonight, I think. I think I will attempt to add a tail to my man's. But it's a little late tonight.
Oh,
and I gotta get going,
So I know exactly where I am right now. I know exactly where I am relative to Microsoft Bimbos too. I did so much walking in circles when I initially tried to find this place that I saw this structure like a billion times. I don't remember this though. TCG shop. Yo, I might have to buy some fucking magic cards. Alright, this place is... I've been going back and forth on whether or not this is trading cards. Alright, here's the little arcade that had the Chunism advertisement.
A surprisingly large arcade. Ooh, they got Chunism over there.
When I found that, I did not realize how close it was. I didn't realize Microsoft Bimbos was just behind me, like a few feet behind me initially. Let's see what they're advertising now. It's still here. This is a low resolution ad. They've got fighting games, racing games, crane games, slots, Pac-Man, the game where it's Maybe I head into the official Microsoft Bimbo's arcade. This is hands down the emptiest arcade I've ever found in Japan. That's what I get for spending too much time in Tokyo, but this is like, there is almost no one in here. They got Hatsuhane Miku.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Hatsuhane Miku. Let's go.
I should win a Miku. That would bring it all together. Full circle. Ooh, there go Bowser. There goes Bowser the dragon. I don't remember exactly how far this direction I'm gonna have to go. The big moment is impending and it's like kind of windy. I'm gonna put on a lavalier mic as a backup just to be safe. I just feel like we're getting close and I want to have a backup for the audio. Fuck, man, I said I feel like we're getting close, and then I was like right there for like 4 minutes setting my mic up because I was like, I don't know, I feel like it can't be far. And then like as I was looking at camera and saying that, I came out from behind this wall. Yo. Let me switch to the good camera. If you use your imagination. Just a big Microsoft Bimbo sign right there. Alright, so one thing that I really wanted to do in the original video that I couldn't do because I was tied to these like specific Google Street View points was I really wanted to set foot in the parking lot and get another better view of it in VR. But now I can do that because I'm actually here. It's better than this.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Touching Microsoft Bimbos right now. I don't know if y'all know about Microsoft Bimbos. This bad boy could fit so... Sorry. It's so funny too because this building used to not mean anything to me by itself. It was only in the context of like looking for, and oh, I'm sorry to those people in the car, they must be so confused. Like the building it was mounted to.
Yeah, that was pretty necessary,
and looking
I'd
for
say.
these windows and stuff that I even knew that it was it. But now like this building means a lot to me without the sign because of the whole journey I went on to finding it. So the question is,
I'd say it's pretty
climbable
necessary.
is this?
God, I continually say that I'm not gonna do stuff, and oh, I never did his tail with like the pattern.
I remember seeing
The question is,
this is like a cram school now?
is his like a, yeah, it's like a, oh.
Oh wow, I guess it looks like
So it's completely different than what I expected.
Another thing I'm really interested in is at 6:30 p.m., or I guess at 6 p.m., there's a izakaya in the basement floor of Microsoft Bimbos that I really want to check out. You know, I would love to eat a meal in Microsoft Bimbos. I just had a really stupid feeling moment. I was looking at Google Maps, and I guess I was just savoring that I'm finally at Microsoft Bimbos. Like, after a lot of waiting, I've waited to see this, to see my blue dot next to this red pin for a long time. But I was just like zooming in, like checking out the izakaya, and I was like, oh, nice. It's got really good reviews. Like 4.3 stars in Japan is pretty high for an izakaya. It's called Sononi. Anyways, it's a low-key izakaya with open and private dining space providing filler Japanese fare, beer, and spirits. Cool. But I decided to check the reviews. Closest restaurant to the former Microsoft Bimbo site. That deserves 5 stars from me. I'm gonna eat here one day, right where Microsoft Bimbos used to be. And then I got to this. This is the one that made me be like, okay. In before Nick visits this place and eats the food IRL. Long live Microsoft Bimbos. They read me like a damn book. Read me like an absolute book. In case there are this is a comment in Japanese, but from ya boy Squishy, who probably used Google Translate, but I guess no, it's possible he didn't. In case there are Japanese people who are confused by Microsoft Bimbos, this building had a cheap computer parts store called Microsoft Bimbos around 2002. It became a meme of unbranded content. I haven't been there yet, but please come visit us someday. It looks like a nice place, and I would like to pay tribute to the legendary image. I'm using Google Translate because my Japanese is still improving, so I apologize if the translation doesn't work. Nice. Damn, this shit looks beautiful at sunset. Are you kidding me? Microsoft Bimbos, I guess you would go in that door, up the stairs, and to the left, and then maybe to the right. I guess I don't really know for sure. I see. Where's the Microsoft Bimbos? Hey, you guys know what that is? You know what used to be here, but isn't anymore, is Microsoft Bimbos. And now I'm here. I'm about to have dinner at an izakaya inside this bad boy. Wow, Microsoft Bimbos by moonlight. So I wonder if the guy who runs this izakaya is confused by like the Google reviews he's been getting and stuff. I'll see if I can communicate with him about it, and I'll let you know what happens. Stickers. We do, in this house, we do real, we do really loud, we do family, we do love, we do mistakes, we do I'm sorry, we do fun, hugs. It's like, it's not even, it's correct English, it's just like the type of shit they would have at Target on a pillow. Alright, let's see what we got. Lemon sour? Sorry. Sorry. Lemon sour? Lemon sour. Hi. Okay. Okay.
Oh, what happened? We're just about to wrap up here ourselves. Let me save real quick. What? Regale us. I got accused of Fight Night deving you with the sissy boy Hypno. Huh? I hopped in the WBO server before I went to bed and people were talking about Rod. Oh yeah, that's right. You're a fucking like actually like certified like ref, aren't you? I forgot about that. Go on. So I mentioned that I had a bud who went and picked up... Oh, no. Oh, no. Did you cause a fucking buyer's panic? Oh. Well, yes. Yes, get on with it.
One eternity later.
We need some pensive music. For some knobby-headed guy who doesn't pay any attention to the news was upset and said it wasn't canceled. I explained it was, drop the link. And he said verbatim, forcing someone to impulse buy like that is not cash money. IDK, I would ever trick my friend into spending a good chunk of cash. Bro, I spent like maybe like $50 to $60. Because I'll let you in on a secret, Rad. I had like 3 or 4 of them because they did a buy one get one sale like before Christmas last year. Oh, so you got jumped? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, they were making fun of this guy. Because, yeah, I've been jumped before in Discords. It's not fun. That's kind of one of the reasons I left, I left Pult Fans Discord, was because Pal World was a thing, and because he has a lot of really dumb friends who try to act like they're, like, smart, stoic, like, thinkers. I said the Pal World people shouldn't have made a game that was bigger than what they could handle. And people got immediately pissed off that said, and they were telling me that I shouldn't have, like, you can't say what people should and shouldn't make. That's not your right. It's like, I don't know. Don't make a stupid fucking piece of shit game. And then cry when people say it's a stupid piece of shit game. You have my permission to share the picture of the rods. Yeah. You have my permission to share the that picture I discorded you. Just make sure it doesn't have, like, I don't think it's got, like, address shit in it, but, like, yeah, that picture with a fucking iMac, a big gulp, a fucking copy of Manga Time Kirara, and half a fucking JVS harness for a Sega Naomi. Yeah, you have my permission to share that and report back. But